Here is a requested tutorial on how to cut and sew this chiffon top with pleats on the neckline. If you are watching this video right now, I'm giving a shout out to Vivian for sponsoring this video. Greetings everyone, and let's get started. Meanwhile, this is the detail of the top and you can see how relaxed the pleats are on the neckline. So we are going to be drafting on the pattern paper, and trust me, it is not going to be hard as long as you do everything the way I said. First, I'll go ahead to draw up my startup line. All my measurements will start below this startup line. From my startup line, I'll measure and mark out my top length. I'm using 24 inches. On the top line, I'll measure and mark out my shoulder measurement divided by 2, gives me 8. For the neck width, you are going to be using your basic neck depth or your basic neck width minus half of an inch. The formula for getting your neck is your bust measurement divided by 8. You further divide by 2. The answer plus 1. You don't divide it by 10 at once, no. Your bust, you divide by 8. Whatever the answer is, you further divide by 2 plus 1. Whatever the answer is, that's your basic neckline. 3 by 3 does not work for everybody. I've used this for a long time and it has been working, this formula, okay? So whatever your basic neck width is, minus half of an inch, because you are trying to make a turtleneck top. All right, so my basic neckline is 3 inches. So what I'm going to be using as my neck width for this project is 2.5. All you have to do is to apply your own measurement as I have just explained. So I'll go ahead to mark my neck width of 2.5. Now for the neck depth, you just mark out a neck depth of half of an inch. Then you go ahead to connect it with a curve. Next, I'm going to place my tape on my top line and I'll mark out my bust point. Connect that with a straight line. Between your bust and your hip, which of them is the biggest part of your body? For me, it is my hip measurement. So you're going to do your hip measurement divided by 4, and you're going to go ahead to mark this measurement on the full length and on the bust point. So I'll go ahead to connect these 2 points straight. I'm going to be adding 2 inches to make the top big and wide. Connect it straight down. Next, I'm going to be bringing down my shoulder measurement to my bust point, and I'll just connect it with a straight line. And to make this look more like a pattern, I'll just make my armhole curve, though we don't really need this for this project. We don't need armhole curve for this project. Next, I'll go ahead to measure my round neckline from this point here. You just gradually follow your curve, so, like so. And mine gives me 3. Now whatever yours gives you, you go ahead to divide it by 4 because we have 4 pleats on the style. Next, you are going to go ahead to draw a slash line, and according to the style we are trying to recreate, the pleat goes like in a slanted way. Now most of these styles comes as gather, but you still need to do a slash and spray regardless. So from the top, I'll make my slash line. The first one goes down straight. The next one would be slanted. This would be slanted. Notice that I am following my marked points on the neckline and just making it to be slanted. Then this would also be slanted. On the down part, I'll just add my hemming allowance of 1 inch. Now for this, we are going to be cutting out our slash lines. You are not expected to cut it out entirely, just cut to the tip. So after slashing this out, you are carefully going to put it aside, and you take another paper. You make sure that this new paper is straight on the front side. Carefully place this on it, and you want to make sure that the pattern have some extra at the top after placing your slash pattern. So I'll just bring it to the down, and the first step is to make sure that the center of your previous pattern sits on the center of this new pattern. Then you go ahead to pin it down. From the tip of this slash, you measure 2 inches. You arrange the next slash to touch that 2 inches and you pin it down. From this slash, you measure another 2 inches. Arrange the next slash to start from the 2 inches mark, then you go ahead to pin it down. I'll repeat the same process for the other slashes. Spray by 2 inches and pin them down. Before cutting this out, you are going to close up this point first. Now, you are going to pick one end of your slash. You don't need to fold everything, just a bit, following the line. Then you make sure it meets with this point. It should meet equally, and you pin it down. You pinch up the nest and you take it to meet this point here. You have no business with the down for now. Just make sure that the line and the neckline is aligning. Pin it down. I know this side is squeezed, but leave it. It's paper. When we go to the ironing part, that's where we'll focus on making sure it is smooth. I'll repeat the same process for the other slashes and pin it down. Go ahead to cut the extra pattern at the armhole. Cut the shoulder, and following my neck curve, I cut out this extended pattern. Next, I'll remove my pin so you can see the shape the neckline is taking right now. Now, if I had gone ahead to cut it straight, I would have not been able to get the exact shape each fold is going to take. And if you cut it like that, your pleats might not be relaxed when you are trying to make them. Okay, so this is the shape of what the top would be like. For the sleeve, we are going to be adding that on our fabric. It's a chiffon fabric. It comes in bale and it can also come in roll. The bale chiffon is actually less transparent than the roll chiffon, but I could not get the bale chiffon, so whichever you get is just fine. But just know that a bale chiffon is less transparent than the roll chiffon, and this chiffon is by 60 in length. So this fabric is by 60 in length. The part that I'm holding from up to down is the by 60 part, and the part I'm holding from left to right is the yardage part. I had to iron this tip here because it was kind of shrinking. After ironing this, that is when it's now flat. Okay, so how to fold this for the cutout? You are going to take from the yardage part, which is from your left to right, and you place it on fold. After placing it on fold, remember I said the part that goes from up to down is the by 60 part of this fabric. So I'm going to go ahead to place it on another fold from the part going from up to down. So you just carefully want to follow your fold down. So here we have another fold. Now after you place this on fold, you are going to notice that there are open tip at the side and at the down, and there is a closed tip on the up side and on this other side. And you'd also notice that this closed tip, one is shorter and one is longer. So when placing this on your pattern, you want to make sure that the shorter part of the closed fold is the top length, while the longer part is the sleeve. Alright, you get it right? I know you do. So after you have pinned it up, for the pinning, you ensure that the shoulder is seated on the fold of the shoulder. Ignore this point. The center should be seated on the closed fold. This point that is on the shoulder side should also be a closed fold. Next, I'm going to be showing you how you can get the sleeve. So I'll just adjust this like so. I'm going to go ahead to extend this tip to the up like this. Now from that point, you're going to go ahead to measure your sleeve length plus 4 inches. You want to make your sleeve as wide as possible. So from the top here, I'm going to be measuring 15 inches. From this point as well, I'll measure 15 inches. 15 inches is my bust point plus 5 inches. That's what I'm using for the sleeve. Yeah, so that you can work with yours. Connect it straight up. Then you blend this into the side shaping. I'll cut this out. You don't need to slant the shoulder, just leave it like that. carefully follow the shaping of the neck. Okay. Before you unpin this, remember to notch the center. After unpinning my pattern, I'll go ahead to open it wide. You can see the neck is wide enough. I've gone ahead to pin one side. It's already looking like it, but I've not even ironed it, you can see. So I'm going to be showing you how to pin the other side, because even though you did your slash and spray right, if you did not pin it right, it can still go wrong. So this is for, let's just say this is the back part. Okay, so let's pin the front part. Now you want to take note that you notch, or you notch the shoulder, the front center and the back center, so that you can easily know where you can stop. So I'll just use my chalk to indicate a line on the center. Now remember, when I divided my neckline into 4 sides, the answer it gave me was 0.75, and my spray inches is 2 inches. 0.75 and 2 inches is what I'm going to be using to fold my folding. So from the center, I will just measure 2 inches away, and I'll bring it to meet the center. Now, because we have not cut our front neck depth, I'm going to pin this in a way that it comes down a bit, so that after I cut out my front neck depth, I will not have to pin it down again. Next, I'll mark out 0.75 from that fold. Then I'll measure 2 inches. This 2 inches will come to meet my 0.75 mark. And you pin it down in a way that your pin is long enough to be able to take the front neck depth. So from that fold, I'll measure 0.75. I'll measure 2 inches. Then I'll take the 2 inches mark to meet my 0.75 mark. I've gone ahead to make all the pleats I need for one side. I'll go ahead to repeat the same process and make the pleats for the other side. But kindly note that the pleat for your other side is facing the opposite direction. I've gone ahead to pin all of them down. Before we iron this, let's cut out the front neck depth. Remember, our back neck depth was already 1 inches. The total for the front neck depth is 2.5 inches. So I'll place my tape 1 inches upwards on the center, and I'm going to be marking 2.5 inches. So this is for my front neck depth. I'll just go ahead to make my neckline curve. Now I know this is not accurate, but when I remove my pin, I can place it on fold and cut it out to be accurate. So next, I'll go ahead to top stitch it following my neckline curve. And when you get to the back side, you sew and you stop before the 2 pleats on the back center. So I've gone ahead to sew this, and I use a different color thread so that you can see exactly what I sew. Now, like I said, for the back part, you are going to sew and leave the last 2 pleats unsewn. Now this is the front center. I'll place it on fold so that I can cut the neckline to be the same. You want to make sure you arrange it so that it's the same thing on the other end. So here the front neckline is all done. Now for the ironing, you're expected to iron this in a slanted way, and you don't need to take the plate all the way to the down. You just make the plate to stop anywhere you want it to stop, but do not take the plate all the way to the down. Then for the back part, this is the interval for the both pleats. You place it on fold, and you're going to cut down by at least 7 inches. Otherwise, the neckline will be too small for your head to pass. So you cut it down like this, and we are going to be toning this with a different fabric. Now this would make the neckline big enough for the head to pass. Take a pieces from our previous cutout and I'll place it down. Place this right side facing right side. You are trying to turn this V cutout here. Trying to turn it. Place it right side facing right side. You might want to pin it so that the other part of the fabric will not stretch it out. Then you go ahead to sew it and flip it over. I've gone ahead to iron the pleats for both the front and the back. Now I've gone ahead to shape the sides with 1/2 an inch. You can decide to leave the hem like this, or you can decide to fix elastic. For the sleeve, I've gone ahead to fix my elastic on the sleeve. I used my wrist measurement as the length of the elastic. I've also gone ahead to turn up that cutout with bead on the back and iron it down. Next, we are going to be making the center pleats for the back. You know that we unpinned it. Now from your last pleat, I'll go ahead to measure 0.75 and I'll take the tip of the cutout to meet the 0.75 point, pin it down, and that will be the back center pleat. I'll repeat the same thing for the second side. Next, I'll go ahead to measure the round neck circumference of the top. Whatever I get, I'm going to place it on fold, that is to get the half of that measurement. I have a long band here that is on fold. The width of this folded band is 6 inches wide. Now it's on fold. I'll mark the half of my neckline measurement. Then I'm going to add as long as I want it to be. I added 20 inches. I'll cut it out at that point and I will just give it a slanted shape for styling. I'll clip my exact neck circumference. Then from that clipped point, I'll go ahead to sew the side and turn up the other side of the band. I've gone ahead to do that and I flipped it to the right side and ironed it down. This is the clipped point of my actual neck circumference. On the neck circumference part, you pick out one part of the fold and you cut it out by 0.25 inch on only one part of your fold. As you can see, I did not cut the both sides of the fold. Next, you are going to bring your top the wrong side and you are going to be sewing the shorter side, like the side you trimmed out by 0.25 inch. You are placing the center on the center front neckline. You pin it up and you also place the clip point on that cutout on the back and you also pin it up. You are expected to get exactly with no excess or shortage. Then you go ahead to sew it all around. Now after sewing it, you bring it to the front part. Notice that I have also picked out that unmatched thread. You take the other side of the neckline band, place it on it like this. Now the reason for cutting out 0.25 inch from the first or from a single layer of the band is to make this top stitching easy for you. Okay, so you go ahead to place it on fold, covering your previous stitch. I recommend you hold it down with hemming gun before you go ahead to top stitch it to make it easy and neat. So this is what the inner finishing looks like and this is what the outer finishing looks like after top stitching it. Thank you so much for watching and I would love to see you in my next video. Bye.